last couple of years.
Oh
So
yeah.
happy to be here. Grateful for the invite.
Well, welcome to New York. It welcome to our very humble New York studio.
I love
Everybody,
it.
Rick is in Ohio, and
I am.
I actually just gave him an intro, but I'm going to introduce him one more time just in case we cut it out, cut that long, very long intro that I did before out. This is Rick Miller, who is the owner of Uniquely You magazine and a great person and
Yes,
a
sir.
great friend. And now listen, Uniquely You. Tell me in a
Yeah.
nutshell, what is the purpose of Uniquely You?
So Uniquely You is a magazine that I own. I have five different franchises that I own with a group called the N2 Company, and one of these franchises is a magazine all about the local disability special needs community. We are our purpose, if I could say our mission, our purpose, what we're really here to do is we want to celebrate those in the disability space. We want to tell their stories. We want to connect them to those other folks in the community. But also, what we want to do is we want to be a window into the disability community for those around who maybe don't have that direct touch and don't have that direct understanding of what the disability space means. We want to be a window in for those folks to be able to see how amazing and how important this community of folks are. So that's really, in a nutshell, what Uniquely You magazine is all about. The traditional approach here is to take folks from the disability community and put them in the back of the room. And when I launched this magazine 3.5 years ago, I told everybody that would listen, my goal is to do the opposite of what's traditional. I want to put people on the cover of a magazine and I want to celebrate them. I want to shine the spotlight as bright as we can. And it's come true. I've been in coffee shops with people and watched individuals on the cover of the magazine be asked for autographs. I've had people like splatter all over social media for their stories and told how amazing their story is. And so it's been everything and more that me and my team thought this could be. And we're just getting started, man. To tell you a quick story, I was in a coffee shop. I was meeting with a gentleman talking about Uniquely You magazine, and we had a copy of the magazine on the table. And I was at this cafe, and it just so happened the previous month we had done a feature story, a cover story on a young lady that was working at the cafe. And it just so happened that while we were there, that young lady was standing behind the counter. And the guy that I was meeting with, he started recognizing her. He'd look down at the magazine, he'd look up at her, look down, look up. And finally, I'm like, this guy's not paying a bit of attention to me, right? And I realize I look over my shoulder and there's Ariana right back behind me. And he goes, Rick, is that Ariana? And I'm like, yeah, dude, isn't that like the coolest thing? She's on the magazine. And he literally stands up, grabs the magazine, and he goes, Ariana, that's you, right? And he's excited. And here's what happened though, dude. I will tell you, this is one of the most transformative moments I've had in this. I look back at her and I watched her power down, like kind of like go into a shell. Like she was like embarrassed to be noticed, to be recognized. And then all of a sudden, like a light switch, she started glowing and she raised up and she goes, yeah, that's me. And I've realized this over time. Ultimately, he grabs the magazine off the table. He walks over, Ariana, autograph this for me. This is amazing, right? All the things. The whole cafe is watching. They're clapping. They're like, it's a cool story, right? But here's what I've realized over time. The moment of that happening showed me that the traditional response when someone from this community is recognized, it's typically negative. They're embarrassed to be noticed, to be pointed out, right? But Ariana, after a brief moment, realized, no, this is different. This is good. This is incredible. And she accepted it and like lived in it. And that is what Uniquely You magazine is for. To take that traditional moment and turn it on the end and make it like, holy moly, this is amazing to be recognized. And so we're doing that for families and individuals and all the things. And that moment right there, like I said, one of the most transformative moments in this whole journey for me, watching that happen and realize that we can do that for individuals. We can be a part of doing. I shouldn't say we can do it because we don't do it. We can
Yes.
be a part of that happening. And if we can foster that however many times, dude, I'm in. Count me in. It's the best thing I've ever been part of.
Is there another special, for example, I always loved the Miss Wheelchair USA edition. Of course, I love
Yeah.
that one. But I read things all the time in the magazine,
Yep.
like I say, like people in music, dancers. Is there like any other special story that really? They're all amazing, but is there another
Yeah.
special story you'd like to share?
Well, I think that, one of the things I always love to tell people about the magazine is that I will jokingly say to folks, me and my team and I, we're not hanging out in coffee shops or at parks hoping somebody comes around in a wheelchair, or hoping somebody with a disability walks up to us and says, "Hey, I'm here." And we say, "Can we feature you?" Right? That's not how this works. The magazine that we do, every feature story that we have has been nominated by somebody in our community. So people are bringing their loved one, their family member, their individual, their friend. They're telling us about their friends. The young man on the cover this month, Owen, you know, I met mom back 3.5 years ago when we were first launching the magazine, and it took 3 years to get it put together for us to feature Owen. And that's cool. Like sometimes today is good, sometimes tomorrow's better. Like we all the stories are brought to us by the community. So what that does for me is it keeps everything very organic, very natural, very true to the community. And I think that one of the other things I always love to tell, it's not really an individual story. I mean, there's a couple of stories associated with this, but we take people places for photo shoots. So what I will tell my content team, and when I talk to Mike, my content director, we always say, like, everybody gets pictures on their couch. Everybody takes pictures in their house all the time, right? We are not going to walk in and say, "Hey, let's get pictures of you at your house." No, we literally take people all over the community. We've driven an hour for photo shoots because it was this destination that was just perfect for this individual. We had a young man probably 8 or 9 months ago. He has a shoe collection. He's got like 180 pairs of Nikes. So we're like, well, Noah,
Ah,
why don't
yes,
we
I
do this?
remember.
Remember the issue?
Yeah.
So Mike, my content director, Mike Sturdivant, he found a local shoe store, locally owned place, not Foot Locker, not Champs, none of the national stuff, a locally owned guy. And not that there's anything wrong with Foot Locker, but we love to do the local stuff here. And Mike called him up and said, "Hey, we've got an individual with autism that loves shoes. He's got a 180 pair shoe collection. Can we use your shoe store for a photo shoot?" And the guy's like, "Well, yes. I mean, that would be amazing." So we bring Noah in there. The pictures in this article are unbelievable. Like capturing Noah with the smile of all smiles in a shoe store. He bought a pair of shoes while he was there, right? Of course he did. But like that kind of stuff, we've had I mean, countless people where, we just take them to where they want to be. We had a young man who, his thing is he comes home from school all the time and he tells his mom, "I want to learn how to do this. I want to learn how to play tennis. I want to learn how to play the piano. I want to learn how to knit." One day he comes home from school. He says, "Hey, mom, I want to learn how to play Dungeons and Dragons." And mom's like, "Oh, good grief. I got to learn how to play Dungeons and Dragons with you." So we're doing a feature story on Landon, and Mike, my content director, is phenomenal, by the way. Mike Sturdivant, if you're watching this, shout out to you, dude. You make this happen. You are the man. Mike finds a local game shop that has a Dungeons and Dragons corner in the gift shop, in the game shop. He schedules a photo shoot there. The owner of the store sat with Landon and his mom for 2 hours after the photo shop and talked Dungeons and Dragons. And the photos were all the game pieces and everything, just amazing. So not an individual story necessarily, but I think what I really always love for people to understand about Uniquely You is this is about the people. And we make this an experience for that individual, that family. No one wakes up one day and goes, I'm going to be on the cover of a magazine. I'm going to be featured in a magazine. I own 5 magazines. I've never been on the cover of a magazine, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't happen all the time. But when it does, it better be memorable. It better be something. And you probably saw the comment on Facebook from our good friend Rayanne Lindsay, right? She commented about uh, she commented about being on the cover of Uniquely You unlocked a memory that she never thought she would have. That comment moved me like nothing else. Like that kind of stuff to me, that's what it's about, man. That's what we do, what we do.
Excellent, excellent, nice. And your own Facebook, Instagram,
Yes.
any other social media that people can
So
find
you can
you?
go to our website, uniquelyumag.com, uniquelyumag.com. You can go there. Facebook and Instagram, that's the best places to find. Uniquely You Ohio is going to take you to my page. Um, if you go to the website, uniquelyumag.com, that's kind of a national landing page. So you'll get a glimpse of all the magazines that are open. You can find mine there. The best place to get, we post all of our issues on Facebook and Instagram. So one can go and look at the actual magazine for the month. We've got an online bookshelf that you can go look at every issue we've ever done over the last 3.5 years, which I highly
Perfect.
recommend. It's a good way to spend a whole Saturday because
Yeah,
there's a
perfect.
lot of stuff there.
Right.
But it's good stuff, man. Yeah.
Okay. No, we will edit in a lot of these additions that you spoke
Yep.
of. But I
That's
was
cool.
that you answered the question. I was going to ask if anybody wanted to go read the articles, but you
Yeah.
just answered it. Excellent. Final question.
Yeah, man.
Where do you see uniquely you going with the future and uh, anything maybe in media, any YouTube channel, any podcast, anything like that? Do you? That is not even a question I had planned on asking, Rick.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm thinking, as somebody who spent so much of their time writing papers with 4 degrees, now I'm
yeah.
in media.
Hmm.
And every time I hear a story, I want to visualize it. And some of these
Yeah,
articles that I read and now hearing you
yeah,
visualize them, I mean, they would make some excellent, excellent short documentaries
yeah,
and
yeah.
episodes on a YouTube.
Yeah, I think that I've been approached a few times about podcasts. I've been approached a few times about YouTube channels, like you said, and YouTube episodes and things like that. I think that um, I will say this, whatever I can do to further celebrate this community and tell people stories, I'd be open to. My bandwidth to do a YouTube show like what you do isn't probably there today. If I had somebody, I think that down the road, I think it's definitely something I would love to do because I think that going into moving media, right? If you look at print media, if you look at articles, like you said, you're writing it, you're reading it, you got amazing pictures, you got all that stuff. When you put that in motion, though, I think that's when you really take it to the next level of impacting the person and the family and the individuals, and I think your connection really raises. So I'm all for doing that. I think that one of the things we've always talked about is being able to do an interview with the individual that we're writing about and
yes.
really letting us tell the story both directions. Maybe even talking about what it was like to be featured in Uniquely You
Yes.
magazine after the fact. So, you know, uh, none of that exists today, but I would not be surprised if down the road it did, and I would be all for it. Because like I said, it's all about these folks. It's all about the community, about the audience, about the people. Let's go tell their stories however we can, and if it's on YouTube, if it's on a podcast, I'm for it.
Well, listen, we're in New York. We celebrate New York, but by all means, anybody in Ohio, hook them up with us. We'll be glad to
Let's
do a
do it.
Zoom and we'll
Yeah,
share their
yeah.
story
One of these
because
days I'll rate high enough I can get in your studio live and we can do this show live and in person, man. One of these days.
yeah,
I'll get
yeah.
that invite one of these
Well,
days.
you guys got amazing stories. I love the magazine. I love to read it, and again, it's very diverse. It's multi generational. It touches on a lot of careers, and it really does show the diversity and inclusion of population that is really part of mainstream society. And I do appreciate that. So thank you very much.
Of course, man, that's what we're trying to do. And I think, every time somebody says you're hitting the target, it makes me feel really good about us, our team, what we're doing, and the people we get to serve here. So that's the goal. Keep doing that. And I appreciate the kind words. I don't take that lightly. I know you get engaged in a lot of different things, and you don't have to say nice things about what I do. So I sincerely appreciate that. And we're gonna keep trying to just grow it and make it more.
Well, nobody has to say anything nice, but you know what? We always have a great time on the red carpet.
Yeah.
So,
Yes. Let's keep doing it, man. Let's
We
keep
always
doing
have a
it.
good time shooting debris on the red carpet. I really enjoy it.
Yes. Next year, I'm gonna try to raise my attire level, man. I got to keep up with you. That suit you were wearing this year was fire.
Dude, let me tell you
I
something.
gotta raise my game a little bit
I'm
to keep
I'm
up with
I,
you next year.
I'm looking over here. We're still filming. I'm gonna put. I gave that as soon as that suit came
Eh,
off.
Yeah,
I gave it to one
that's
of
what
the
you said.
dude.
You told
I
me.
I am too old to be walking around here in some slim fit suit where you cannot even breathe and the
Oh man,
buttons
it
are.
looked great. I was jealous because you look better than me. So next year, I'm raising my game and I'm coming legit, and I'm gonna make sure I can at least get almost to the level of you
Well,
in the game
listen,
of
you
like
look
your
great
attire.
tonight. Listen, if anybody who can wear a white T-shirt with authentic on it like you are doing right now is super cool in my book. But
I
audience, what he's
appreciate you,
referring
man.
to is this past time on the red carpet, the sales ladies at Macy's sold me a slim-fitting suit, and it was super uncomfortable. And I was complaining all night about that suit. As soon as I went to the dressing room and took it off, I actually gave it away. I gave it to one of the catering staff for her husband. Yeah,
That's
because I
amazing.
was
That's
like,
such
I
an
didn't want to give
amazing
it to.
story.
Yeah, I didn't want to
I
give it
love it.
to just anybody. But you know what? I mean, it
I
was just
love
that
it.
way. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, but
Good
anyway,
stuff,
it
man.
was great. It's great. It's always a great week. Miss Wheelchair USA is amazing,
It
and
is.
it's
It's
becoming so much
fantastic.
more popular. And you guys
Mhm.
do a feature every year.
Yeah. Yeah. We've the last 2 years we've dedicated our July issue, really for the most part. I mean, almost entirely to Miss Wheelchair USA, telling the stories. What we do is we put like the previous year's winner on the cover.
Hmm.
So and we really try to tell her story and then talk about the new contestants and really celebrate the event coming up. And we put a bunch of copies in their hands for them to let the contestants autograph, and then you can buy the programmed autograph program copy there at the event. It really has become something that we are really excited to be part of, and be one of the sponsors and really just take part in the event. um 2 years ago, I think they ran out of people to ask to be a judge. So they got to the bottom of the barrel and they called me. And I've had an amazing time the last 2 years. I told Patty and Lowry, I'm like, hey, if you'll have me back, if you still can't find anybody next year to have, I'll come back and do it again. And I got to do it for the second time. And it was a blast. And I'm really looking forward to going back next year.
All right, man, you are the best. What can I do? Now,
Appreciate you, dude.
the T-shirt, is it part of Uniquely You, or what's going on? What do
No, just a t-shirt that I like.
do you have a
Just
Uniquely You merch? Do you have any?
I actually no, I don't right now. I've been approached a few times about creating a merchandise line, t-shirts and hats and hoodies and stuff, but haven't pulled the trigger yet.
If you can throw something together before December 19th, send us over a few
Yeah,
sizes, and we
that'd
can
be
throw it
cool.
in the fashion show.
We might be able to do that.
All
Cool,
right.
man. Appreciate you, man.
All right,
Have
this has
fun in
been
the next
great,
show.
buddy. This has been great. See you
Yes.
soon.
Yes, sir. Talk to you.